All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's eXp Explained event. We're going to give it another 30 seconds or so to let a few more people jump on. Hope everyone is doing well today. Just wanted to remind you that this is this event is totally private. So no one who is here can see your name or will be able to see any chat messages that you might send to me. Feel free to ask questions at any point. I just want to make sure that I'm answering questions for you about eXp. eXp is an incredible model, but it's not for everybody. And so this really is just to kind of let people know about the model and see if it may be right for you. So again, I'm going to give it a couple more, about another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get going. All right, looks like everyone is muted, so we're good there. And like I said, please feel free to ask questions. Put your questions in the chat window. I'll try to answer them as we're going through the presentation. If I don't answer something right away, throw it in the chat window again. I'll try to get to it at the end of the presentation. So I'm going to jump down and we're going to start the presentation. So for everyone who has joined us, first of all, thank you so much. I love being able to just get this information out there and really explain why the Veenstra team, why our team made the move to eXp Realty over 3 years ago now, and have no intention of making a move again. It's just been an incredible brokerage for us, an incredible platform, and an incredible experience. So we're going to run through a presentation here and just kind of give you an overview of what eXp is. Before I do that, I want to just introduce myself. Some of you know me, and there are some names that I don't recognize, which is great as well. So my name is Jason Veenstra, and I am a second-generation realtor. I've been in the business now 11 years, but my father actually started the Veenstra team a little over 34 years ago. And thankfully for me, both my father and my mother are still in the business and are business partners of mine. They both work in the business full-time with me, and I am so thankful and fortunate that I get to experience this business with them. I am also a board director for the Greater Kalamazoo Association of Realtors, a board manager for the Michigan Regional Information Center, which is basically a conglomerate of 11 associations, soon to be 12 associations around Michigan that basically have pooled our resources in order to better serve our members. And then I sit on the GCAR MLS committee and the Budget and Finance committee. And I'm also a landlord, and I am on the Kalamazoo Area Rental Housing Association and a member of the Rental Property Owners Association, which is the largest landlord association here in the state of Michigan. So that gives you a little background of who I am on the real estate side of things, but I am also very fortunate that I am the husband to my amazingly beautiful wife, Linda, for coming up on 15 years. And we have 5 children. Unique thing about our family, our children, is that we actually have 5 kids all within 3.5 years. So we have 5-year-old boy-girl twins. We have a 4-year-old boy and 1-year-old boy-girl. I'm sorry, 2-year-old boy-girl twins. So we have a very active, very busy household, but we have a ton of fun together as well. So what we're going to cover is just basically who we are as eXp, the business model, eXp World, eXp Solutions, and then joining eXp if you think that the model might be right for you. As I said before, this model is not perfect for everybody, but by explaining the model to you, at least you know what information is out there, what other opportunities are out there, and then you can make a decision if it's right for you or not. So when we talk about who we are, we have to start with Glenn Sanford. Glenn is actually the founder of eXp Realty. In the late 90s, early 2000s, Glenn actually worked at a number of internet startups and was very successful there. But then he got into real estate in 2002, and he joined Keller Williams and was very, very successful at Keller Williams. He closed more than $60 million in real estate in his fourth year in real estate alone. And that was because he was utilizing the internet. He had the experience from working at the internet startups, and he was one of the first agents to really successfully use the internet to bring in a lot of clients. And he really thought that there was a better way to not only utilize the internet, but to just run a brokerage. And so in 2009, Glenn founded eXp Realty. Now, for a few years, eXp just had a few agents, but then they really started to grow. And you can see on this growth chart, this is not even up to date, but you can see the first few years, they just kind of were pretty low on the agent count. But then 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, and now going into 21, you can see the explosive growth. The Veenstra team, we joined eXp 2018, January of 2018, when there were about 8,000 agents. Yesterday, I heard that we have surpassed 43,000 agents, and about a little under 1,000 agents are joining every single week right now with eXp Realty. Just tremendous growth, and a lot of that is here in the United States, but a lot of that is actually starting to move outside of U.S. borders. Last year, in 2020, we actually expanded into 5 different countries. And then this year in Q1, we're actually expanding into an additional 4 more countries just in the first quarter of 2021. So it's a very, very exciting time. When we talk about eXp, we have to talk about our core values. Values of service and sustainability, collaboration, transparency, integrity, innovation, being agile, fun, and having a great community. And these are the values that truly make up who the agents are and who the company is. And when we joined eXp, one of the things that we were, I don't know if concerned about is the right word, but one of the things that we talked about and thought about was the fact that eXp is a cloud-based brokerage. And for us, we weren't sure how we were going to collaborate, how we were going to have a community with the other agents within the company. And let me tell you that our experience with that has been phenomenal. No, we don't have a lot of in-person interaction with the other agents in our area. But we have a ton of virtual interaction, whether that's on Workplace by Facebook. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Whether it's on eXp World. Again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Or if it's just calling and talking to other agents in the area. Especially this last year with the pandemic, no one was able to have a lot of personal interaction with people. But eXp was kind of built for that. And so this pandemic really didn't change a whole lot of what eXp agents were doing. One example of some amazing collaboration that I love to talk about was, I think it was in 2019 when we had been with eXp for about a year. Glenn Sanford wanted to encourage agents within the company to share their listing presentations because he really wanted agents to be able to pick and choose the best parts of different people's listing presentations and use them in their own. Talk about collaboration, right? So what he did is he made a competition, and he said anybody can submit their listing presentation, and we're all going to vote on who has the best presentation, and the winner is going to receive $5,000. What a neat way for us to be able to collaborate and really look at, okay, what is this agent doing? What is successful? How can we take best practices from this agent and work them into our business? And that has truly been the most surprising thing to me about eXp is the way that the agents interact, the way that the agents want to help other agents succeed and are so willing to share knowledge, are so willing to share resources with anyone, whether they're on the other side of the country or the other side of the world, or even in the same area, because it benefits not only the agent that you're helping out, but it benefits the company as a whole. And that is really, really neat to see. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes. So the business model, if you don't know, eXp Realty is a cloud-based brokerage. So eXp does not have any brick and mortar anywhere around the world. Even corporate headquarters, there's no building that staff works out of. Everyone works from home offices, or they rent office space, or they use a Regus office space that's provided to them as eXp agents. So when you think about Blockbuster, I mean, every city had a Blockbuster or multiple Blockbusters. Well, then Netflix came along, and I think it took Netflix 8 years basically to put Blockbuster out of business. They filed bankruptcy in a matter of 8 years because Netflix did something, utilized the internet, didn't have the high overhead, didn't have all of the expenses that Blockbuster had with all of the staffing, all of the buildings, all of the physical DVDs, Blu-rays, probably not even Blu-rays at that time, VHS, all of that. And so Netflix has taken over, and now look at them. Same thing with the Circuit City and Amazon. Amazon started out as a book selling website. I don't know if you are aware of that, but we all know Amazon today. And look at what they have done to our industry. And even during the pandemic, not only did they survive, but they thrived because of the way they utilized the internet. And that's exactly what we're seeing with eXp Realty. eXp not only survived during the pandemic, but absolutely thrived. And it's so fun and so exciting to see what agents are doing here in my area and across the country because of the platform that we have. So we talked about this briefly. We are one brokerage. We are not franchised. So eXp Realty in Southwest Michigan, where I am, is not different than the eXp Realty in Central Illinois. We are all one massive brokerage with over 43,000 agents around the world. And because of that, we have a lot of benefits. We don't have the overhead. We don't have the confinement to a local area or a regional area. And we have amazing technology and support because we're able to do everything on such a bigger scale. When you have 5 agents, 10 agents, 100 agents, even 500 agents in an office, you might have some support staff and you might have some technology to be able to offer. But think about what can be offered when you have the scale of 40,000, 50,000, 100,000 agents, and all of the different things that can be provided for them. It's super, super exciting. Again, we don't have desk fees because we don't have desks in an office space. You can work from anywhere. We don't have the expensive leases that all of the traditional brokerages have. We don't have to pay staff to man the front desk. We don't have staff or to hire people to clean the building or to make sure that the printers are operating correctly. Everything we do is paperless. So we use SkySlope. That's our transaction management software. Some companies use Dotloop, some use DocuSign. SkySlope is the one that eXp uses. And we have amazing access to training and support. And this is what's really, really exciting to me because it has provided me a way to be able to support other agents that have joined eXp Realty in such unique ways. I've had other agents on our teams before where before we were at eXp Realty, there's only so much that we can provide to them because we're only one person or only a small team of people to be able to provide resources, provide support. Well, with eXp Realty, we have over 50 hours of live training every single week. And not just live training, but we also have a huge archive of recorded sessions. And the training that we have is on anything that you can think of within the real estate business: sales and listings, lead generation, how to utilize social media, CRM and technology tools. If you have a question about wanting to start doing some type of advertising, some type of marketing, but you're not sure where to start, check out what we have in the live training or in the archived recorded sessions, because I can almost guarantee you it's been taught on. 50 hours every single week, week in, week out, 52 weeks a year that we have this training going on. And so for new agents coming in to eXp or new agents coming into the business, think of the possibilities. We have training on how to set up a budget as a realtor, as an independent contractor. Real estate 101, how to go and show a house. But we also have more in-depth and advanced classes, such as building a team and what should your first hire be and things of that nature. And these classes are all taught by people who are successful in the business doing exactly what they're teaching about. So as an agent at eXp, if you want to teach a class and you are experienced and an expert at doing that thing, then by all means, let's get you connected so that you can teach a class and that you can be a resource for other agents to continue to build up this company. And it truly has been really neat for me to be able to mentor agents and just kind of guide agents. And when they have a question, I can provide an amazing resource to them just by sending them to some live training. And this live training is actually where you sit in an auditorium. It's a virtual auditorium, but you sit in an auditorium and you can raise your hand and the person at the front of the room can actually call on you. You can see exactly what they are showing up on the board. You can watch videos with the class. You can walk up to the front of the room and ask questions or present to the classroom. You can even chat with others in the classroom with you or in the auditorium with you. It's a really, really neat technology. We'll touch on that here in a minute. But not only do we have amazing training, but we also have amazing real-time support. So our support system is really second to none because we have so many people who are working in the support rooms. And obviously you can't just walk down the hall and talk to somebody. But what we do is we actually go into eXp World, which is a virtual world that eXp has created. And you can go to the accounting room, or you can go to the broker room and ask the broker a question. If you have a question about, hey, it's tax time, and I'm not really sure what to do with my 1099, go into the accounting room and they'll be able to help you out and answer questions. And the neat thing is that currently it's staffed from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so Eastern Standard Time from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Well, as we continue to grow internationally, those support teams are only going to extend their hours longer and longer, simply because we have people in Australia now that need support in their time zones as well. And so since we're one massive brokerage, we're not splitting the support up into franchises, into smaller sections. It's support for the entire company as a whole. So that's just really exciting as we continue to grow. We've talked about the international collaboration, and we're in the US, Canada, United Kingdom, South Africa, Australia, Mexico, Puerto Rico, France. I can't remember them all, but we continue to build and continue to expand, and it's really, really exciting. I think I've answered all the questions. I'm just running through the chat window. Keep in mind, feel free to ask questions in the chat window. All of the questions will be totally anonymous. Your name will not show up. Your face will not show up. And so I will make sure that I get those answered. I think I've taken care of them. So one of the really exciting things with eXp is that we have multiple ways that you can earn money here at eXp. A traditional brokerage, when you sell a house, when you help someone purchase a home, you get paid a commission, and that's fabulous. We have the exact same thing here at eXp Realty. But we also have what are called equity opportunities. At eXp, agents, every single agent within the company can become a shareholder of eXp. And eXp is eXp World Holdings, which eXp Realty is a company within eXp. So if you go on the NASDAQ or on the stock exchange, you can look up the what eXp stock has been doing lately, the stock symbol, eXp. Check it out if you haven't, because it's mind-blowing what has been happening with the eXp stock within the last year, 6 months, even the last month especially. But anytime, every time an agent closes their very first transaction, eXp actually awards that agent stock. So for just closing a sale, doing the same thing you're doing at your traditional brokerage, at eXp, not only do you get a commission, but you also receive stock in a publicly traded company. When you fully cap, you're awarded more stock. At eXp Realty, we have an 80-20 split. So on every transaction, you pay eXp Realty 20% of the commission dollars, and you keep 80%. That caps at $16,000. So as soon as you've paid eXp Realty $16,000 out of all of your commissions that have been at a 20% split, then you've capped. And then after that, you receive 100% of your commission dollars. Now, that's not the lowest cap ever. It's not the highest cap ever, but it's a very, very competitive cap. And the fact is, you get awarded when you cap in stock. Again, not something that any other brokerage out there can offer. And then on top of that, if an agent joins eXp and they have called you the sponsor, so they've said that because of this person, I've joined eXp Realty, when they close their first transaction, you also are awarded stock. Very, very exciting, because this is just another way for us to earn additional income. We also have what's called the Icon Agent Award Program. Now, this is an amazing program. I am so thankful and fortunate that for the last 3 years that I've been at eXp, I have been an icon with eXp Realty. And essentially what that means is you've paid $16,000 to eXp, so you've capped. And then after that, you've done an additional 20 transactions. Once you do those 20 transactions, you become what's called an icon. And when you become an icon, eXp actually awards you $16,000 worth of stock. Now, I can tell you that stock today is trading at roughly $105 a share. Well, when I attained Icon in 2019, for example, 2 years ago, I was awarded stock at $9 a share. So $16,000 worth of stock at $9 a share. I now can look at stock trading at around $105 a share. If you want, you can do the math, but I am so thankful, so grateful because of what eXp does for our agents. Not only are you getting your commission dollars, but you're also awarded for being productive. And as the company continues to improve, as the company continues to advance, as the company continues to succeed, that stock, we can assume, is going to continue to go up in value. And every year, these things roll over. So every year when you do your first transaction, you get stock. Every year when you cap, you get stock. Every year when your sponsor closes their first transaction, you get stock and the Icon Award. Very exciting stuff. The Agent Equity Program is also a really cool thing that eXp does. Is essentially every time that you close a transaction, you are able to actually purchase stock at a discount. So you can use 5% of the commission dollars that you've earned on that particular transaction, and you can purchase stock at a 10% discount. Now, I don't know about you, but I love instant equity. I love knowing that I'm purchasing something at a discount. And it is just so awesome that we are able to do that on every single transaction. And we do. The agents here at the Veenstra team, all of us purchase stock on every single transaction at a 10% discount. And it's just another way for us, another revenue stream that eXp provides to us. We also have the revenue share plan. And this may be something that you have heard about in the past. Revenue, well, I should say a sharing plan is not a new concept. Keller Williams actually has what they call profit sharing. And so Glenn, when he founded eXp, really borrowed the idea from Keller Williams. But what he did is he tried to improve the plan. And instead of it being a profit share plan, it's now a revenue share plan. And essentially what that means is anytime that a person closes a transaction at eXp Realty, part of the money that you send to eXp goes to not just eXp Realty, but it goes to the agent that sponsored you to bring you into the company. So 3.5% of that 20% that you send to eXp Realty anytime you close a transaction, 3.5% of that actually goes to the person that sponsored you. And with Keller Williams and their profit sharing, as you know in business, sometimes you have profit, depending on what your expenses were for that given month or that given year. Well, all the time in a business, you have revenue. And so no matter what expenses eXp Realty has, eXp is always going to pay revenue to the agent that sponsored you when you close a transaction. And that isn't just for the first year. That isn't just for the first transaction. It's as long as you are at eXp Realty and as long as that agent is at eXp Realty. So every single time they send a commission check split to eXp Realty, part of that comes back to you. And that doesn't just happen for one person. It happens for anybody you bring into the company. Well, the coolest part about this is it goes to 7 different tiers or levels. So if the person that you brought into the company then in turn brings somebody else into the company, well, you can benefit off of that tier as well. But in order to benefit from them, in order to receive that revenue share, you have had to bring in at least 5 agents into the company. So if you've only brought in 4 agents, then you will not earn any revenue from that second tier. But if you bring in 5 to 9, you will benefit from that second tier, and 10 through 14 from the third tier, and so on and so forth for 7 tiers or 7 levels deep. And this is truly transformational, because this is really why I believe so many agents are moving to eXp Realty and are staying here, because they are collaborating with each other. We're helping each other out, because remember when I said not only does it help out you or the agent that you're helping out, but it helps out the company as a whole? Well, we want every single agent to succeed within eXp Realty, and we're willing to help them. We're willing to share our expertise, our resources, our knowledge with them, simply because not only does it improve them, but when they are successful, we become successful because of the revenue share and because of the stock that we've earned. So we're all so willing to say, hey, what is it that I can do for you to make you more successful? What classes can I attend with you? What answers can I, or questions can I answer for you? And it's just so exciting to see. I have a couple of questions here. I just want to make sure that I've answered them. Does eXp stock only cover agent production, or are other earnings part of the stock earnings? Actually, yeah. So I'm going to cover that in a couple of minutes when we get on to another slide here. So I will come back to that one. Great question. And I think I've answered everything else. If you have any questions about the revenue share or the stock, please put them in here and I'll come back to them and answer them. I will come back to that one question about agent production. eXp World, this is something that we've talked about. The World is the place where we actually go into classrooms or auditoriums or offices to be able to sit in on a class, to be able to ask questions of our broker, to be able to ask accounting or technology support questions. All of that happens here. And if you've never experienced it before, it looks kind of funny. Yes, we create cartoon characters. Avatars is what they're called. And we actually walk around in this virtual world, and we can go to the information desk and say, hey, who do I talk to? And not only can you walk to the room that they're telling you to go to, but they can actually send you there themselves, and you'll automatically be transported. It's like Star Trek. And they can just beam you up into whatever area you need to go. But you can go to the specialized departments, or you can collaborate with your team members in a virtual office. You can go to the training classes. You can go to large-scale meetings. This large-scale meeting one is actually pretty funny. A couple of months ago, we had our annual eXp Con, which is our eXp convention. And when we have 35,000 agents at that time who are all trying to get into this computer system, eXp World, well, wouldn't you know it, we crashed the servers. So we've got all of these people who are trying to get in, and the servers went down. And they were up relatively quickly after that. eXp jumped on it and said, oh boy, we have a problem. We need to fix it, because all these people are trying to get into the auditorium to listen to this keynote speaker. Well, they got it fixed. And the second day of eXpCon, Glenn Sanford went up to the podium and he was talking, and he said, you know what? I acknowledge that we had a problem. We have never tried to bring that many people into the world before at one time, and we recognized that we had a glitch in the system, and so we've fixed that, and we've made it so that it'll never happen again. And he said something that really stuck out to me. He said, we've all heard the saying of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Well, Glenn said, if it's not broke, break it. Because not only do you usually fix the problem when something breaks, but you actually improve upon the product after that. And that's really what I've seen from eXp, from the leadership and Glenn, is not only are they trying to just make our company good, but they're trying to make the company great. And when they fail, they're falling forward and they're making improvements on what they've done in the past. And that him saying that, if it's not broke, let's break it, really just stood out to me as the mentality that he has and the leadership of the company has to really continue to improve the system and make it better for the agents. In the world, obviously, you can work from anywhere, whether you're on the beach or you're sitting slope side in a condo for the morning, and then in the afternoon, you're going skiing. As long as you have a laptop with you, you can work from anywhere. So we have other eXp solutions, and one of those, this is an interesting stat. According to the National Association of Realtors, 28 to 33% of realtors are uninsured in any given year. Well, the leadership at eXp looked at that and said, man, that is scary. Being uninsured is something that can cause an incredible amount of stress for an agent or for the family of an agent. And so eXp said, what can we do to bring that statistic down? What can we do to help our agents out and get them healthcare? So that's exactly what they did. They created the eXp Agent Healthcare System. And this is a fully fledged healthcare system in insurance and medical cost sharing, telemedicine services, which came in really handy during the pandemic, supplemental insurance. This is insurance that you can buy through eXp that is at a pretty steep discount from what you can find on the general marketplace, because we're buying in bulk. We use the numbers that we have. And I think when they started eXp Agent Healthcare, there were about 30,000 agents. Well, now we're at 43,000 agents and growing by close to 1,000 agents per week. Think about the discounts that we can offer in these different things. And it's just one other way that eXp has said, how can we help our agents out? How can we make their lives easier so that they're more productive and they're better able to serve their clients? Some of the other solutions that we have, eXp Enterprise. This is basically the back-end system where we can log in and we can see all of our details, our contact information, make sure that the areas that we serve are listed correctly, because when an agent is looking for a referral agent in Kalamazoo, Michigan, let's say they're in California and they're looking for an agent in Kalamazoo, I want them to be able to find me. So I always make sure that my agent details in Enterprise are up to date so that they know I service this area. You can also go in and see your commission and cap status, your agent equity awards that have been given to you. You can see all of those, and you can get real-time performance reports. I know at traditional brokerages, if you want a performance report, if you want to say, hey, what have I closed this year? And can you give me a breakdown of each transaction, how much I paid to you and what I got? Well, at a traditional brokerage, you have to walk down the hall. The person in accounting isn't there. So you go back to your office and you come back later and you finally ask them the question. It takes them a couple of days to put the information together. At eXp, we have that information at our fingertips all the time, 24/7. All we have to do is log in and we can pull up any report we want to with that information. Really easy, really accessible. Oh, I briefly touched on SkySlope. SkySlope is what we upload all of our transactions and all of our paperwork into, so that the broker team can actually review them and make sure that they're in compliance with all the state and federal guidelines. And yes, we do have our own digital signature program. So a lot of agents used to use .loop because it was an easy way to get signatures and to send everything to your broker. We use SkySlope and have a digital signature program built in called DigiSign. So very simple to use. They just made a number of updates and improvements to DigiSign. So it's just a really great package now. We also have Workplace by Facebook. eXp basically wanted another place to be able to collaborate with each other. And so eXp approached Facebook and said, hey, we have this large company and we're trying to figure out a good way to bring us all together on one system. And so Facebook essentially created a second Facebook site for eXp Realty called Workplace. And so if you know how to use Facebook, you know how to use Workplace by Facebook, because it's identical. It's the exact same thing. It's just only for eXp Realty agents. In order to log into this system, you have to have an eXp Realty email address. And so you can chat with people. You can do status updates. You can create a group and you can invite people to your group. You can broadcast live videos. You can show all of the other agents in your area a new listing that came up. You can reach out to your broker team. This was actually a big question when we got into eXp was, okay, so everything's cloud-based. How do I ask the broker a question? Where do I go? I can't just walk down the hall and ask them a question. Do I call them? What do I do? And for us, it's been amazing because most of the time, all I simply do is I log onto Workplace and I just send the broker a question. I chat with them, a private message. And the responses that I've gotten have been incredibly quick. And in Michigan, when we first joined 3 years ago, there was one broker. I believe now we have 4, maybe 5 brokers who are servicing the entire state. And so if I send a message to all 5 of those brokers at one time, guess what? The answer I get is even faster because I'm using the power of technology to ask 5 people the same question, and somebody is bound to respond quickly. So anytime I've asked a question, I almost always have an answer within 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, it's crazy how well it works. But I had an agent last week who's with eXp. I asked her, I said, hey, are you loving eXp? You've been here almost a year now. Tell me about your experience. And she said, I am absolutely loving eXp. It has been a great change for me. And I said, is there anything that isn't working well for you or that you miss about your traditional brokerage? And she said, you know what? There is something. Like, I know that I can go into Workplace and that I can chat with my broker and type a message to them, but I really miss being able to call the broker and just ask a question. Well, I said, I'm so glad you brought that up because just last week, we experienced a very similar thing where we didn't want to chat because the message was getting missed. What we were saying was not what the broker thought he heard, and so it just wasn't there. So I really wanted to chat with the broker. And so someone on our team actually went into Workplace and just went to the profile of the broker and clicked on call. So you can actually call the person, a voice conversation through Workplace, and have a telephone conversation. It's just through the app as opposed to through your phone. And she was like, this is awesome. Like, that just solves the only problem I had with the eXp. And it's been there the entire time. I just didn't know about it. And so I was so thankful that, again, we were able to just ask questions and help each other out. And I was able to provide a solution for her that eXp already had. Just things like that have been so cool to experience. eXp, every single agent at eXp actually has a complete website that is provided to them. And this isn't just a website that has your name and contact information. This is a complete IDX powered website. And if you're not familiar with what IDX is, essentially any home that is listed for sale in your area is going to show up on your eXp website. And clients or potential clients, leads, are going to be able to search on your website for every other home. Just like you go to the MLS to search, they're going to go to your website and search. And they're able to share those listings with other people. They're able to save listings and go back and look at them later. You can also, through your website, set it up so that you're sending property alerts by email every single day automatically. You can also put notes into the system, and you can see what properties the clients or the leads are viewing and how many times they viewed it, which gives you so much more information about how to better serve your clients because you're actually seeing what it is they're looking at. And it's just a really great way to be able to get to market yourself. You're not relying on your broker to market you, because when your broker has 5 agents, 10 agents, 100 agents, well, the more agents they have, the more their focus gets away from you. Well, with eXp, they've empowered us to be able to support and market ourselves. A lot of agents do a lot of social media marketing. So you can post your new listings on Facebook and say, hey, this is my newest listing. Check it out. Or you can do a search on your own website and say, I want to look at all of the homes between 250,000 and 400,000 that have a pool that are currently for sale. And you can then go to Facebook or to Twitter or to Instagram, and you can say, hey, click here, and you're going to see all of the homes that are between 250,000 and 400,000 that have a pool, because it's really cold out right now, but it's going to be really hot here in the summertime, and you're going to want a pool. And people are able to search that. And when they search that, then they can log in, and you just gained another potential client through that. Different resources, and there's tons of classes on this, tons of training on how to best utilize these websites and this technology. Marketing and branding. This was another one for us. When we joined, or were looking at joining eXp, we said, okay, what do we do about signage? What do we do about business cards or brochures or flyers? How do we get that made if it's all in the cloud? Well, just like at your traditional brokerage, if you need something made up, you'll go to the marketing or branding team and say, hey, I need this brochure or I need this flyer. At eXp, you just go to the marketing and branding website and you say, oh yeah, I need this flyer and I need this brochure and I need some more business cards. And you can pick and choose what it is that you need. And you can then print those on your own computer, or you can send them to an online printer and have them shipped directly to your door, or you can go to Kinko's or FedEx or wherever it is that you print things, and you can get them printed there. And while you do a little other shopping, and then you can grab them and you can walk out the door. All of that stuff is available and ready for us. And it's just been very simple, very easy. Signage, if you want to have your signs printed at a local print shop, you can do that. If you want to use the partnership that eXp has for discounted signage prices, you can do that, and they'll be shipped to you. So many options, and there's just so much material out there that you can utilize that it has never been an issue for us. So eXp also has some preferred partners, and this isn't a unique concept. A lot of brokerages have preferred partners, whether that's a mortgage company or a title company, a home warranty provider. eXp has done the same thing. But what eXp has done that's pretty unique is it has provided just another revenue source for our agents through those preferred partnerships. So a lot of the time, a traditional brokerage will have a mortgage partner or a title partner. And in that partnership, when their mortgage services are utilized or their title services are utilized, the broker owner actually benefits, or the leadership team benefits, because they have most likely a ownership interest in that mortgage company or in that title company. Well, that doesn't sift down into the agent's pockets. But at eXp, it does. So we have partnerships with a mortgage company. Excuse me. We have partnerships with a title company and with an express offers platform, and I'll tell you more about that here in a minute. But the neat thing is that eXp allows you to buy into those partnerships and allows you to benefit from them as well. So when Silverline Title is utilized, you as a partial owner of Silverline Title actually benefits. You as a partial owner of IntroLend, our mortgage provider, you benefit. And Express Offers, I don't know if you've heard about the Zillow Offers program, or Open Door is another Express Offers program. Well, essentially what these programs do is it allows a seller to bypass a real estate agent and go directly to a company who is willing to pay cash for their home and is willing to say, this will be a quick closing. You don't have to make any repairs. We'll pay cash. We'll handle everything. You can walk away and be done with it. Well, as more and more companies are offering these services, eXp said, wait a second. We really need to make sure that we're providing a way for our agents to be able to offer something similar, but stay involved in the transaction and be able to service their clients and be able to make sure that they're protecting their clients' best interest. And so eXp created Express Offers. And essentially, it's the exact same concept where we can go out and find a cash, fast close buyer for any of our listings or any of our potential sellers, but we get paid a commission on it. And we stay involved in the transaction. We still represent our client to make sure that their interests are being represented. And so that's very exciting as well. We also have home warranty partners and signage partners, currency exchange partners. This one I think is going to get utilized more and more here as we continue to expand outside of the U.S. And continue to open up offices in other countries. And then continuing education partner. We get discounts on all of our Con Ed through eXp, which was really helpful in 2020 during the pandemic when a lot of us weren't allowed to meet in person for our Con Ed. There's a couple of them on here that are not actually listed that I want to make sure I cover. Some of you may have heard of the Success brand or Success Magazine. Well, that is a company that is over 125 years old. They were founded in the 1800s. And it's basically a personal development brand. Well, I don't know if you realize this or if you heard about this, but eXp World Holdings actually purchased Success Magazine and the Success brand a few months ago. So it was just another way for eXp to say, okay, how can we help our agents? How can we benefit them? And they said, you know what? Let's buy this incredible company that's all about personal development. And then we can utilize the information, the videos, the podcasts that we have and will continue to get through the brand and provide it to our agents. Talk about thinking outside of the box. I love that concept. And the really cool part is that, again, the leadership at eXp could have just purchased this and taken all of the revenue from that themselves. However, what they did is they actually bought it under the eXp World Holdings company. And so because we own stock in eXp World Holdings, when Success Magazine does well, we in turn do well. Very, very cool, very exciting. Virbela is another company that eXp actually hired Virbela to create eXp World. This was a number of years ago. And they created the world for us, and they were supporting the world for us. And the leadership at eXp said, you know what? This is really cool technology. And I think we really need to look at how we can kind of build this technology out. So eXp actually purchased Virbela. So again, eXp World Holdings is the parent company of Virbela. And Virbela isn't just used by eXp. It's used by Harvard. It's used by Boeing, building airplanes and engines. It's used by, I believe, the U.S. Navy. These are major corporations that, especially in the last year, have said, you know what, we need to find different ways to teach, to do business. And Virbela has been a great way for these companies to do that. And again, it's under the eXp World Holdings company. So as Virbela succeeds, we all succeed. Now, I've touched on a lot of different things. I've answered questions as they've come in. So I just want to kind of review. If you think eXp might be an option for you, that's awesome. I completely acknowledge that eXp is not for everyone, but it has been an incredible platform, an incredible brokerage for me and our entire team, and I just want to let people know about it. So keep in mind, eXp has 0 desk fees, 0 royalty fees, and 0 franchise fees. We have an 80-20 commission split capped at $16,000. After that, you earn 100% of the commission dollars for the remainder of your anniversary year. There is a $250 capped transaction fee that you'll pay until you hit Icon. If you hit Icon, then that drops to $75. And remember, that's only after you've capped. You do not pay that $250 on transactions before you cap. And then the standard cost, it's $149 to join eXp Realty. That's the total investment upfront. We do have an $85 per month cloud brokerage fee, and that $85 covers everything that we talked about. It doesn't cost more to run SkySlope. It doesn't cost more to get Workplace by Facebook or to have your website. All of that is included in that $85 per month. Every transaction does have a $25 broker review fee, and then every transaction has a $40 risk management fee. However, the risk management fee goes away after you've hit $500. And that essentially is our errors and omissions insurance, or E&O insurance. One of the things that we heard a lot about when we were first at eXp, or just looking at eXp, was the idea of, and we were still building then. We only had 8,000 agents at the time. Was the idea that, eXp is just a bunch of agents who are trying to recruit other agents to come in because they want to benefit from all of the money that they're going to make through all of these other agents. And nobody at eXp is a top producing agent. Well, that's simply not true. Here on the Veenstra team, we actually have 2 Icon agents. We're a very high producing team. And every single week, I see incredible teams that do unbelievable production making the move over to eXp Realty because they're recognizing all of the benefits that eXp provides outside of the traditional brokerage, outside of just the commission dollars. And they're seeing the incredible support that not only they as team leaders are able to get, but the additional support that they as team leaders can offer to all of their other agents because of all of the training that goes on every week and all of the collaboration that happens on a daily basis. These numbers speak for themselves. We were the top independent brokerage ranked by closed transaction sides in 2019, and number 2 for volume in movers. These numbers are big numbers, and they're only going to get bigger and bigger as we continue to grow. If you want more information about eXp, not even if you want to join eXp, but if you want more information, go to join.exprealty.com. It is a great resource for you to get well, not as much, but a lot more information about eXp Realty and about who works at eXp and how we do business. Also, please reach out to me. I would love to be able to answer your questions. I think I've answered a lot of them here, but I'm sure that you may have other questions, and please feel free to call me. I'm going to actually type in my email address and phone number so that you guys can reach out to me at any point. So email me at jason@veenstrateam.com. Call me at 269-350-4082. I'd love to answer questions. If you are ready to make the move to eXp Realty, reach out to me and let me know that as well. I want to make sure that it's a smooth transition for you. We just had a team member actually make the move last week, 2 weeks ago, and she was able to move from her previous brokerage to eXp Realty, and I think the total time took 2 days. Now, it can take longer if you need it to take longer, but from start to finish, she was done in 2 days' time, and she was up and running, able to do everything that she wanted to do. If someone invited you to this webinar today and said, hey, check out what eXp has to offer, Jason is doing this webinar, reach back out to that person and just let them know what you thought, and let them support you through the decision-making process. And if you decide to join eXp Realty, that's awesome. Make sure that you let eXp know that that person is your sponsor. If I invited you, or if someone on my team invited you to join this webinar today, I would love it if we could sponsor you and support you through the process and make sure that you are successful at eXp Realty. And so if you decide to join eXp, make sure that you list me as your sponsor. I would be honored, and I would love to be able to support you, mentor you, and just make sure that you're successful. Thank you, everyone. Actually, I'm going to see if there are any other questions. Does your CRM rank users by activity or use AI to track their online real estate interactions? Yeah, so it certainly can rank the user's activity, and you can sort by who's using the website the most. You can go and view who's viewed most recently. All of those things are certainly trackable. I don't believe that it's using AI yet, but I have heard rumors that that is going to be coming in the future. So certainly as technology continues to improve, those things are out there. If you have other questions about that, I'd be happy to answer those questions outside of this, if that's helpful for you as well. I don't see any other questions that I have not answered, but thank you all so much for joining me today. Please reach out. My cell phone, my email address, give me a shout whenever you want. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.